Every listing agent is living this right now. You walk the home, pull comps, land on a number. Then the seller tells you what they think it's worth, which is quite a bit higher than your number. They point to what their neighborhood got in 2022. They point to a Zestimate. They point to what another agent quoted them. And that number has almost nothing to do with what a buyer will actually pay for today. This is about solving that, without a confrontation and without taking the listing at the wrong price. Both of these cost you. Let's walk through how to move a seller off an anchor without losing the room. But first, I'm Doug Smart, co-founder and tech stack developer of Smart Agent Alliance, an eXp Realty sponsor team. We help agents work more effectively and efficiently by bringing together the resources from Smart Agent Alliance, the Wolfpack, and eXp Realty into one organized agent portal. Our agents get access to a personalized link page, marketing templates, an agent attraction funnel, elite training, and the systems they need to build both production and revenue share. And because we're part of the Wolfpack, eXp's fastest growing sponsor team with the highest retention, our agents have access to weekly masterminds and one of the strongest support communities at eXp, all for no cost to our agents. The data behind the perception gap. This is the defining problem of listing appointments in 2026. According to Redfin, it's a firmly buyer-leaning market, nearly 47% more sellers than buyers nationally, one of the wildest gaps on record, and 34 of the 49 largest metros now favor buyers. 7 still favor sellers. Another 8 are balanced markets. So most markets are now buyer markets, but many sellers are still anchored to the 2021-2022 peak prices. Here's the part that's changed, and it's important to understand this is not a market where every seller is simply overpricing, missing, and then cutting after the fact. According to Realtor.com's May 2026 data, 17.5% of active listings had a price cut, down from a year earlier, while the national median list price fell 2.4% year over year, the steepest annual drop in Realtor.com data going back to 2017. That tells us the adjustment is still happening, but more of it is happening before the home ever hits the market. Sellers who price realistically up front are getting rewarded. Sellers who start too high are not always cutting later. Many are pulling back and not selling instead. Redfin reported that 5.8% of US listings were taken off the market in April 2026, tied for the highest since March 2020. The lesson for your seller is simple. Price it correctly before it goes live, because in this market, buyers are not giving overpriced listings much room to recover. Why agents take the overpriced listing and why it costs them. Let's name it honestly. Agents take overpriced listings because they're afraid to lose the listing. They give a softer version of the real number. The listing goes live too high, it sits, and 30 days later, you're having a higher price conversation than the one you avoided. Days on market climb. Buyers assume something's wrong, and that stigma is hard to undo. The cost isn't just time, it's the relationship damage when the seller blames the market and you. And you also get agent reputation damage when the listing lands on expired lists. Quick thing before you go further, if you find this useful, please subscribe. We publish this kind of breakdown every week, and it's the easiest way to make sure the next one finds you. 3 tools for pricing conversation. So, the question is not just whether the seller's price is too high. The real question is how you help the seller see the market clearly before the listing goes live. That is where the pricing conversation has to move beyond opinion. If the seller thinks your recommended price is just your personal judgment, they may push back. But when you show them current buyer behavior, pending activity, and independent pricing support, the conversation changes. Here are 3 tools that help move the seller from emotional pricing to market-based pricing. Tool 1. The DOM story. Pull 4 to 6 true comparables. Show list price, sale price, and days on market. Correctly priced homes are moving in roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Appraisal ones sit 60, 90, 120 days. Reduce, sit more, and sell for less. Ask, if you loved a home on day 1 versus day 97, how would your offer differ? Most sellers have been buyers. They know the answer. Tool 2. The pending sales reality check. Closed sales matter, but in a shifting market, they may reflect buyer decisions from 30 to 45 or 60 days ago. Pending sales help you see what buyers are choosing right now. Of course, you may not know the final contract price yet unless you can get it out of the listing agent, but you can see the list price, days on market, price reductions, condition, location, and competition. That tells you which homes are actually attracting buyers today. Tool 3. The pre-listing appraisal. This is the escalation tool when the first two don't move the anchor. Position it as a seller benefit. A licensed appraiser gives buyers an objective foundation their agents and their lenders respect. A few $100s up front can protect tens of thousands at stake. It carries independent authority a CMA can't. The seller can argue with your comp selection, they can't argue with an appraiser's methodology the same way. Before you get an appraisal, know the risk. That is, check your state's laws on whether the seller must disclose appraisal information. For example, in California, the answer is no, they don't. When the seller still won't budge. After the DOM story, pending sales, and the appraisal offer, if the seller is still locked to a number the market won't support, you have a decision. Option A, take it with a signed price reduction trigger written into the agreement, specific days on market or showing count. Or option B, walk away. The framing for B, it's my job to sell your home, not list it. If we can't agree on a price that the market will respond to, I can't give you a result that serves you. Most sellers won't let you leave, and the ones who do were never good listings. One quick note before we wrap. Pricing rules and what you can put in a listing agreement vary by state and broker. These are just the concepts. Confirm the specifics for your market. And hey, if you'd like to see the full EXP structure, check out our 18-minute inside look. It's the fastest, clearest breakdown of EXP you'll find anywhere. The link's in the description, and if you want to strategize what your business would look like at EXP, we're happy to talk. Contact info is also in the description. If you want to know how to protect your commission from a seller that decides to rent, check out the video on screen. To learn more about how brokerage consolidations can hurt luxury brands, check out the other one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.